What is something that someone does or says that makes you immediately not trust them?
When they have, like, a penis.
What is something that someone does or says that makes you immediately not trust them?
Yeah, I just get on with boys so much better than I do girls. Like, boys are just less drama, you know? Like, less drama. Sounds like you could be the drama. Sounds like you're the drama, maybe. Sounds like that's probably the case, isn't it?
What is something that someone does or says that makes you immediately not trust them?
If a guy ever says that he's not good enough for you as like some kind of pickup line, just believe him and keep it moving. Because I think sometimes girls are like, oh my God, then he's gonna worship me because he doesn't think he's good enough for me. That's where you're wrong, sweetie. He has that belief. He's acting on that belief when he's interacting with you. Unless he changes that belief, he will never think he's good enough. And he's always going to think that you're sticking around for something that you deserve better than. That's a very slippery slope. Because everybody has inherent value. And until someone can realize their own inherent value, there's really nothing that other people can say or do that will convince them otherwise. You don't need to help him realize that. He needs to realize that on his own. So if he says that you deserve better or that you're too good, you are. Next.
What is something that someone does or says that makes you immediately not trust them?
If somebody's telling you that they miss you and you've only been on 1 date or 2 dates with them, even 3, miss you, who exactly are they missing? Because they don't know you yet. I know we can get all excited like, oh, they miss me. But how do they? Because they don't know you. You've spent all of like 10 hours with them. Why don't I trust that? Because they've already created this idea of you in their mind, and when the real you shows up, when they get a glimpse of the real you, they're going to be sadly disappointed. Not because you're disappointing, but because you can't match something that's a fantasy. When do we actually miss somebody? We miss somebody who has taken up space in our life, somebody who has value, so that when they're gone, it leaves a gap. And dolls, you can't leave a gap yet because 2 weeks ago, they didn't even know you existed. I'm not saying run, I'm just saying take note, hold it loosely, and keep your eyes open. Just a thought.
What is something that someone does or says that makes you immediately not trust them?
Okay, I once went on a date with this guy. He took me to a restaurant, and when the waitress came around and asked us what we wanted to drink, he ordered a cold glass of milk.
What is something that someone does or says that makes you immediately not trust them?
Listen, I'm not racist. But, I tolerate the LGBTQ people. But, I'm not Islamophobic. But, I get it, what we do, the climate change, blah, blah, blah. But I respect everybody. I'm a gentleman. And I respect women. But listen, I don't understand why you think that I offended you. I get it, you felt uncomfortable. But these people might as well say, I'm not an idiot, but...
What is something that someone does or says that makes you immediately not trust them?
When a guy says he's a trustworthy person and he's a good person, that means he's not. Because think about it, would a pretty person come up to you and be like, hey, I'm pretty? No, they just be it.
What is something that someone does or says that makes you immediately not trust them?
When someone's entire social circle look, dress, and just act the exact same way. Here's an example. We've all seen this famous image of, Christian girl Autumn. I have no problem with people who do look like this and dress like this, but when you have that many friends who all look and dress and probably talk the exact same way, I just don't trust you. I'm sorry. Another example, no, I don't trust you.
What is something that someone does or says that makes you immediately not trust them?
When someone says they're an open book. What I learned from being a psychiatrist, everybody has a secret.
What is something that someone does or says that makes you immediately not trust them?
This is going to be a controversial opinion, but I do not trust people who don't swear or judge other people for swearing, and I am reading from a study right now. We found a consistent positive relationship between profanity and honesty. Profanity was associated with less lying and deception at the individual level and higher integrity at the social level. Some research shows that people who swear are less likely to lie during police interrogations, and a 2015 study concluded that intelligent people tend to use more swear words. Swear word fluency is positively correlated with overall verbal fluency. People who are good at language are good at generating a swearing vocabulary. Fuck yeah.
What is something that someone does or says that makes you immediately not trust them?
Flip-flops. If I see you wearing flip-flops anywhere that isn't the beach, I have a problem with you. I have a serious problem with trusting you.
What is something that someone does or says that makes you immediately not trust them?
When people want to come to me and talk badly about their friends, gossip, shame, talk badly about them, and they expect me to connect with them, what that makes me do is shut down, because guess what? That's a red flag. If you're talking about your friend that way, what are you going to say about me? And also, one of the biggest turnoffs for me is when someone goes, "Ugh, can you believe she's wearing that?" and expects to connect with me in that way. Why does that bother you so much that she's wearing that? That's the bigger red flag. Why does that bother you so much that she's wearing that? No, it's not going to work. Can't connect with me on that level. Sorry. The only thing I want to say about other women in public is, dang, girl! Look at her go! Get it, girl!
What is something that someone does or says that makes you immediately not trust them?
Oh, bring on the hate. Right, anyone that wears an excessive amount of rainbow or tie-dye, like all the time, like it's their entire personality. You know when you run across these people that they will tell you about their spiritual journey. And then they'll lecture you for hours on how you should live your life and what products you should buy and how everything is evil with the world whilst they tap away on their iPhone, updating their Instagram. And then they'll hand you a crystal out of their fucking bra and tell you it will heal all your ails, and the reason why you're negative towards them is because the moon is in a certain phase. Now, I was a practicing Wiccan for a very, very, very long time. And these people are the reason why I left. Because they're abhorrent and they're fucking everywhere.
What is something that someone does or says that makes you immediately not trust them?
When someone makes outwardly misogynistic jokes and thinks they're funny. Like, ha ha ha, shut up and go make me a sandwich. Like, is that supposed to be funny in any capacity? And it just doesn't sit right with me when someone chooses to make women as the butt of their joke. And to me, it often feels like they're trying to use this disguise of it being a joke as a way to outwardly express their misogyny in public. Like, how are rape jokes funny? I don't get it.
What is something that someone does or says that makes you immediately not trust them?
The people that say, "I'll pray for you." They're liars.
What is something that someone does or says that makes you immediately not trust them?
I will give you a few, because that is what I do. When you meet them, they do not make eye contact. They're always looking everywhere else but at you. They look you up and down, but then don't give the compliment. They talk crap about everyone but you. If you know they're in a relationship and they're watching all the people that they could be attracted to walking around, telling secrets at an event or at a party or at a table where no one else can hear the conversation. If they're constantly acting like they need to be someplace when you know that they don't. And these are just for fun because my family and I joke about them. People that turn their spoon upside down and eat the ice cream off of it, or people that back into parking lots. You're not allowed to back into a parking spot. Just kidding.
What is something that someone does or says that makes you immediately not trust them?
People that hate cats. And I'm talking specifically about people that have this fiery abhorrence towards cats. All I'm hearing when people tell me that they hate cats is that they can't handle rejection, they don't respect a creature that practices boundaries, and they're just horrible human beings.
What is something that someone does or says that makes you immediately not trust them? I'll go first. People who describe themselves as an empath, like it's a personality trait or a spiritual belief and not just a basic human function. And then they use it in a way to like put other people down. Like, you're not as empathetic as me because I'm an empath. A human being not having the capacity to feel empathy is a literal psychopath. So you feeling empathy is not special. It's not a personality trait. It's a basic human function. And you turning it into this sort of identity actually kind of makes you come across like a narcissist.